My views represent my thought and no lobby.
Ngifisa futhi ukuthi ngibeke nje kucace ukuthi ke imbono engizoyibeka la imbono yami akuyona ke imbono mhlambe ehlose ukuthi ke mhlambe incenca abathize.
One, I'm worried about the DMRE only proposing 10% for local businesses.
Into yokuqala nje engangiphathi kahle ukuthi ke uDMR ukhuluma ngo10% akathi ke ubekelwe ke eceleni ngabantu ke abansundu.
Mina ngibone ngazuthi 40% is what local businesses should get, 51% must be contributed by the state and 9% for other entities.
Ngibone ngathi mina u40% wona ke ongabaleka ukuthi mhlawumbe unikezwe kwabantu kabansundu bese kuthi ku51% kube ke okwahulumeni ebese kuthi ku9% kube ke ilowo ozophathwa ke izinkampani ke lezi ke ngaphansi kwahulumeni.
Ngike ngamlalela kakhulu usihlalo Mr Luzipo ku-input yakhe. I'm afraid about the capitalization of the ventures that must take part in this new law. The bill is silent on government funding. I want to propose that DMRE must play a larger role in the financing of the Upstream Petroleum bill, not to leave us to the hyenas or Shell, Total, and Abokaltex.
Kungiphatha kambi ke ukubona noma ukuzwa ukuthi ke inkampani enjengo Shell Total kanye no Caltex kusabuke ngathi bona futhi abazoqhubeka bahlomule kulomthethosivivinyo thina ke sishike ngaphandle sizocela ukuthi ke umbuso kube yiwona kwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi kuvikela thina abantu basemazingeni ke aphansi ukuthi nathi sibe ingxenye yalabo abazohlomula kulomthethosivivinyo.
I fully support the establishment of a separate petroleum state-owned company. This company will respond to the new emerging problems of this sector, i.e. the ballooning oil prices, and an agency that will look at the petroleum price every time there are seismic changes in the market.
Ngizokuxhasa ke futhi kakhulu ukuthi ke lo mthethosivivinyo ke ophakanyiswayo njengoba besho ukuthi bafuna ukuthi ke kube nenkampani ezoba ngaphansi ke kombuso kanye kohulumeni ukuthi cha ngiyahambisana ke kakhulu ke nalokho ngoba kuzosiza ekuthenini kwezesiqiniseko sokuthi ke thina abantu ke abasemezingeni ngaphansi ke nathi siyakwazi ukuthi singalimazeki kakhulu kwezomnotho nasehlangothini kwelezi zimali.
Ibill ayingasabi. It must point out explicitly the role that will be played by the foreign conglomerate. I mean BP, Shell, Total Energies. Their role must be reduced or limited to imparting of skills.
Asikubeke kucacile futhi ukuthi ke labo asebevele behlomula abanjengo Shell, BP no Caltex akwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi umsebenzi wabo omkhulu ufanele ke bawenze uqinisekisa ukuthi amakhono abanawo bawafundisa ke labantu abasemazingeni kaphansi ke abangakabe nawo bona amakhono.
The bill is an important one. It opens up the sector to new players, especially the previously disadvantaged, thereby ensuring transformation in the petroleum sector.
Balekile ke lo mthethosivivinyo ke ngesizathu ke sokuthi ke unikeza ke ithuba kulabo bekade ke becindezelo ke eqaleni okanye ke eminyakeni ke ngaphambili kuba yena ke bathole ke ithuba lokuthi ke babe yingxenye yalabo abazohlomula ke kulomnotho uma kwenzeka lo mthethosivivinyo ke kube ukuthi ke uyaphumelela.
Sengihlala phansi ngicela ukuthatha opportunity ukubonga kwi-portfolio committee on 2 points. One, for allowing public participation of this bill, then commenting on the bill from the plush offices of parliament. Ukuza kweni la siyakwamukela kakhulu. But two, I want to thank you Ubaba Luzipo necommittee lakhe for your visibility and the extensive work you do right around the country. Suke silandele siyabonga kakhulu.
In my closing remarks, I would like to thank the Portfolio Committee for presenting themselves before us and also affording us an opportunity to contribute and give our accounts on this particular bill, and also to ensure that not only those who are in higher structures are beneficiaries of such information, will also stand to benefit to know what is happening in the Portfolio Committee and also in Parliament itself. So I thank you. My name is Noktula Shibe.
Ward 85.
I come from Ward 85.
Mina ngivumelana nebill.
I reject the bill.
Into eyenza ukuthi ngingavumelani nebill kade kwakuba khona kuba khona ama mines kwenziwe izinto kodwa still namanje ama job opportunities awekho.
The reason why I'm saying I'm objecting this bill is simply because we've been told quite many times about the same thing. Mines being established, however job opportunities are non-existent.
And angivumelani ukuthi kususwe kuma companies part of government. Angivumelani nama companies, angivumelani no government. Into engavumelani no government, uwodwa uzwani uwodwa. Sihlezi sibabona bekwebhana lapha eParliament, abavumelani ngento eyodwa bebodwa. Mangase kuthiwa leyo nto iphathwe yibona, still ngeke futhi bahambisane nento eyodwa bebodwa.
I'm also objecting, Honorable Chairperson, the separation that the bill is proposing in terms of oil and gas being extracted separately from the mineral department that we know of. And secondly, Chairperson, we know that there are infightings amongst or within government departments themselves. So if they don't agree among themselves on what should be done, how are they going to then have a consensus? So how are they going to reach a consensus on this particular bill, Chairperson?
Into enza ukuthi singavumelani bekungcono ukuthi kuqalwe mhlawumbe ngeyuti iyahamba yayiswa khona phesheya kuyofundwa about ama-mining nezinto nokuthi kuzosetshenzwa kanjani ukuze abantu abamnyama abancane bakwazi ukuthi bayitholela isinkwa nabo etafuleni ngoba kuzoza inkampani izosebenza nabantu baba abaziyo aba-skilled thina sisale kanjalo singazi lutho vele sijike singatholi lutho baqhubeke babe right bodwa vele abadla isamboni laponto.
It would have made sense, Chairperson, if the first point of departure was to send our youth abroad in order for them to regain those skills that are going to be required in those particular working industries. Simply because if we don't have the necessary skills as the youth, what is going to happen is that these multinational companies are going to bring their own people from their own places. And then what is going to happen is that our youth is they are going to end up not being employed simply because they lack skills to be able to qualify for those particular jobs.
Ngiphinde ngingavumelani nokuthi ke uoyela uchithe kwelolwandle. Ulwandle thina salihlonipha samaZulu. Sikholela ukuthi lapha kunedlozi elikhona and bekuzolimala ulwandle futhi nathi siyalimala ezabantu abamnyama.
I'm also against the activities that are being proposed by the bill itself that seeks to speak to the oil and gas being extracted in our oceans. As Zulu people, we know that there are rituals or other traditional rituals that we perform along the coast of KZN. And that may also be in conflict to what we believe as a nation. If such things happen into our seas, we don't know what type of contamination that may happen in our coastlines and in our oceans that then may affect the manner in which we do and run our rituals.
Ngiphinde nje ngingavumelani ukuthi ugovernment kubo yena ozophatha lokho. Amacala amaningi corruption esiwabonayo ku TV nezinto ezenzakalayo. So thina kusinika ukuthi mangase kuthiwa futhi balokho bephatha izinto sizoqhubeka sihlupheke kakhulu njengoba manje sihlupheka nje.
I'm also objecting to the proposed bill that seeks to suggest that government must also have a certain percentage of ownership when it comes to the company itself that is going to be running the activities of extracting this oil and gas in our seas or rather in our oceans, simply because of corruption. All the cases that are in our courts speaks to the corruption that involves the government. So I'm against the government being afforded powers to run this entity simply because of high levels of corruption.
Ngiyabonga ngivumelani nebill.
Thank you. I'm rejecting the bill.
Sanborn.
Greetings, you all.
Angibingelele ke usihlalo noma engasamboni futhi. Ngibingelele nabahlonishwa bonke ngokuhlukahlukana kwabo. Igama nguThemba ngisuka eNewcastle.
My name is Temba. I'm coming from Newcastle. I would like to greet the chairperson of the House and also the member of the Portfolio Committee.
Ngibhlungu emoyeni wami ngeParliament njoba ikhona la. Into eyenza ukuthi ngithi ngibhlungu ngeParliament njoba ikhona la. Last week besila kuzokhulunywa ngeClimate Change Bill sayichitha.
Last week, we were in this particular venue, and the business of the day was on climate change. And we rejected that particular bill. However, it pains my heart that today we are here again on a similar bill being proposed to us.
2 kwaphinde kwaba I just energy transition kade se eGoli eKempton Park saya khona safike futhi nakhona sayichitha.
Again, there was a just energy transition bill that was proposed. In Gauteng, we went there also, and we rejected that bill again.
Siyichithile nje namhlanje sekuzokhulunywa ngegas and petroleum what bill again. Umbuzo wami uthi kahle kahle ubani onpush ukuthi nenze lento bafowethu.
We've rejected, we have rejected the two proposed bills, as I've already mentioned before you, Honorable Chairperson. However, today we are finding ourselves having a third bill that is now being proposed to us. Now I have a very burning question is to say, exactly who is pushing the government behind to come and shove such bills down our throats?
Ni proposal ama bill lawa kukhona into engiyibuza yona ukuthi with the compliance ye constitution ka 96 chapter 2 ola ukhuluma khona nge bill of right angaze nilandelele kodwa namhlanje lo nisitshela ngama regulation bill, climate change bill, just energy just energy transition molubheka legama elithi just liminishe enye into kodwa nina nuhulumeni wethu esathi samvotela ngo94 sithi hayi uhulumeni wethu omnyama lozo senzela izinto ezi right sikwazi nathi ukuphila, but at the very same time nina niyasicindezela nuhulumeni omnyama.
There is a clause, Honorable Chairperson, that is enshrined in our Constitution as amended of 1996 that speaks to the rights of South Africans. However, we're finding it difficult, Chairperson, to understand these bills that are now being recommended by the government to us, or rather, that's the government wants us to fully participate on when we know that there is a gap in terms of that a particular rights that was enshrined in our Constitution that speaks to the rights of the residents of this country that does not seek to be getting attention from the government to say that these things that were the agreements enshrined in our Constitution should also be followed up the same way in which the government is doing with these bills.
Angengimangale le camera le njoba ishutha namhlanje. Akusiwo oqala namhlanje ishutha le camera. Kunama clip ajumpwayo la kuthiwa jumpa wena because of money. Uyabo? So now ngeke ngimangale futhi njoba sikhuluma la baningi abantu abakhulumile. Izinto esikhala ngazo ngohulumeni wethu. Kodwa kunabantu abazocontrola le camera lokuthi wena jumpa le clip le ukuze ingazi ukuvela kubantu ababaphethe abangongqiwa. Kodwa into ebhlungu njengoba kuzo implement wonke lama bill lawo noma kuzo regulate lama bill lawo kune age restriction ethi 18 to 30 years kodwa nikaze nilungise sibhizi siyahlupheka nithi senze njani thina sino 31 years kuya ku 61 years.
I am concerned, Honorable Chairperson, very much concerned, simply because what you came here to do today does not seek to speak to us as people of this country. It does seem to be only the interest of the elite. I will make a practical example, that being the fact that there is an age restriction in this country that speaks to those who are from 18 years to the age of 35. Now, those are the only people who are accommodated in this country. However, if I am 35 and above, where should I go in this country? Because it does seem that I'm not accommodated and nobody cares about my interest and what should happen to me. My other concern, Honorable Chairperson, is the fact that we know very well that in these proceedings, there are those who are only interested in controlling the cameras. So we know that there are clips and particular footages that are not going to be appearing, Honorable Chairperson, on those rolling cameras, simply because it does not suit the narrative of those who are behind or rather supporting this particular project. Now we are against that. As I'm speaking before you today, I want to register it on record that I'm aware that some of the clips will be removed because I believe those clips will not be speaking to what the elite wants to hear.
So that is, as you wrap up, you remember about the 3 minutes. I'm not referring to the skip clip.
It's only 3 minutes left now.
No, I'm saying as you wrap up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, bafowethu, okay, right. Bengifuna ukukhuluma kodwa akunandaba. Enye into engifuna ukuyibeka kini bahlonishwa. Thina ngeke size sinibukele phansi njengoba nuhulumeni wethu. Singeke sinibukele phansi niyavikelana nina mangabe khona umuntu oyenza iphutha eningizimu Afrika omholi wecountry. Nimvikele ekutheni thina sibuka ukuthi nine parliament kukhona abantu enibavikelayo uma benza izinto ezwrong kodwa mina mangatholakala ngitshontsha iqanda lenkukhu ngigwetshwa 5 years kodwa umuntu oholy country owenza izinto ezibhlungu nezisicindezelayo siyicountry nina kodwa ningabahlonishwa as honorable rule of parliament niyahluleka ukuthatha inqumo ukuthi no umuntu mayenza ukuthi siyamkhipha ngevote of no confidence kodwa why kunihlula lokho.
I'm also concerned, Honorable Chairperson, of the fact that as a mere citizen of this country, our rights, they don't seem to be equated to those who are seen as to be the elite. I am simply saying this because if I'm found, for example, to have stolen...
We would want to hear what is coming through from the submission. Please.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'll make a practical example. If I'm found as a mere citizen of this country to have stolen an egg, I will be taken into custody and I will be locked up for at least a period of 5 years. But it doesn't happen with state officials. And it is concerning because it does look like there's protection among those who are known as the elite. And they protect one another. They does not want their corruption or their dirty dealings to come to the public. Now, that should be something that the government should fix because we want transparency. We want the government also to be held accountable and for the government to do what is right in line as to what we expect as the members of the public.
Sengigcina nje bahlonishwa. Ngifisa ukudlulisa lokho. Ibhlungu into ethi how come you become a president whereby you killed the 42 people for the mine workers go 2012 at the very same time president wethu nihluleka ukuthatha ama-action nina at the very same time nizoregulator izinto zowoyela ngomuntu owabulala abantu nithi president. Now umbuzo wami uthi abasebenzi babekhalela i-minimum living wage yokuphila ka-12,500 is because uyazi ukuthi leya platinum imenzisa ama-billion of billion rand kodwa namhlanje sino president owayebulala abantu nani kupromotha kanjani. Ngiyabonga nesitayisa.
Order. Let's hear the interpretation so that we make sure that it gets into the bill.
It's concerning, Honorable Chairperson, to know that currently in Parliament we have a president that we don't believe that should be in the union building simply because that particular president has killed at least about 40 people in the mining industry. That we know for a fact. And we also know, Honorable Chairperson, that the fact that those mine workers were protesting and asking for an increment of their salaries by 12%. However, they were not given that particular 12%, Honorable Chairperson. They were killed. So we are saying that the president, the sitting president, is not a legit president to be sitting in union buildings. We therefore ask that at least something be done about that particular president because we feel that the state and the government as a whole is selling us out as the citizens of this country and we're not happy about that I thank you.
As you start leadership, we understand, we said, because it is a public meeting, we are going to register everything that you say. We don't want to cut and paste and so on. It's unfortunate that at this time I would ask you not to disappoint me in as far as time is concerned, so that you zoom into the actual bill. Don't miss the opportunity to zoom into the actual bill so that we get what you have to say. We are still going to other places where they will have input, and you might have missed a golden opportunity to get your input about exactly clauses and so on, which you would want to see or not to see, or to reject or not to reject on the bills. So you can go through, sir.
So cela ubambe isikhathi baba uqonde ngqo kumthetho sivivinyo saya kwenye indawo mungezokhuluma ngomthetho sivivinyo but nizolahlekelwa isikhathi ukuthi nikhulume nawo ngoba kwesinye indawo basazokhuluma ngawo kodwa ke singathatha kithuba manje uqade isikhathi siyabonga.
No, asibonge ithuba sihlalo.
Thank you for the opportunity, Chair.
Igama uSiphiwe hlala bemzonda wakabthilizi la Ward 16 khona
My name is Piwe Buthelezi from Ward 16.
ngiqhamuka kwicompany iAbekit Investment affiliated ku West Integrated Business Association.
I'm from a private company.
iAbekit.
Abegiti company.
No hlalo umuntu uzozama mhlamba ukuthi engabe esabuyele emuva uzozama ukuyiskipha le ethinta iNature age group nayo le amakamera na issue yaseMpumalanga.
I will skip the issue of nature age group and the Mpumalanga issue.
No hlalo mhlamba umuntu uthi akakuveze la hlalo ukuthi inesmashi parliament eselikhona kodwa unale concern yokuthi ngifila engazuhlambe sesigitshelisa istimela sesisukile sesamba ngizochaza usikungani ngisho.
May I highlight, Chairperson, that we understand, we're cognizant of the fact that Parliament is there, but I feel like we are being asked to rubber stamp something that is already in motion.
Mina hlalo hlambe bengizothi lizothi iParliament emangabe lize la lize nabo labade benza one research uyibona badiscoverile ukuthi kunowoyela because kunama consent ekufanele ngabe hlawumbe siwa director kubona ukuze mhlambe sikwazi ukuphuma kule ndlini ezinye zezinto seyilaphekile kodwa ngenxa yokuthi njengamanje sekufila senifika senizokhuluma ukuthi hlawumbe imiphi imbono yethu concerning ibhini ngibona us already sesiselele ngemuva.
My thinking was that when Parliament comes to us, they should be coming with the researchers that informed the creation of this bill, so that when we engage properly with the creators, because now I think like it's already in motion, our inputs won't matter that much.
Ngokucabanga kwami nangomuzwa wami ngicabanga ukuthi kwakufele wasekuqaleni kusenziwa iresearch before idiscovery le yalowoyela kwakufele sibe ingxenye ezumphathi wase South Africa especially kakhona la eThekwini.
My thinking was that as soon as the oil and the gas has been discovered, as part and parcels of the research, we as the people of eThekwini should have been engaged.
Because ezinye izinto lana uthola ukuthi meyiqhamuka lezi zinto ezikanjena eksefele mhlambe sizobeka imbono uthola ukuthi iba yinhle mabisakhulunywa kanje. If sekufanele leyo implement sesitshelwa ngama policies amaningi uthola ukuthi ayazivalela thina especially thina endle emnyama ekade mhlambe singenazo iaccess kulezi zimo ezikhona njengamanje.
My observation is that many a times you find bills presented to us like in this manner, and they look so good when they are presented to us. But when it's implementation time, we are excluded, and you told of a lot of clauses and some policies which are red tape and that actually alienates us.
Ngoba ngicabanga ukuthi uma ngabe mhlambe before kuphasiswe le bill noma sibeka imbono ngale bill bekuvele sibheke sitshelwe ngakho konke ubuhle nobubi bakho kubhekwe futhi nokuthi ikuphi ingqinamba esizodlula kuzona ukuze umuntu ngabe uyangena mhlambe ube yiphathi noma uyisupport kodwa ebese neunderstanding kusikahle ikuphi kumele sikulindele ukuphi engamele sikulindele.
I think for us to make a meaningful contribution on this bill, we should have been told of the advantages and the disadvantages. We should have been told of the consequences so that we make an informed decision in our submissions.
Okunye hlambe lana mphathi ohlelo yiloko ukuthi ngifile engazi uhlambe beqale kulungiswa inkinga because ngaphakathi siyazi ngaphakathi ezweni into ethinta ipetroleum inama challenges currently. Bengizothi mhlawumbe mina ukube mhlawumbe ade kuzoqala kulungiswe lezo inkinga then ukuzo-eda okunye ngesingazi kuzosilisela inkinga engakanani.
Mine is that we should have started fixing the petroleum challenges that we have as a country right now before adding another project or another baby that will need its own attention. But we should be fixing what challenges that we have at this point in time.
Ukusupporta lokho engiqeda ukusho nje mphathi ohlelo. Njengamanje la muzobheka upetrol indlela obiza ngayo la eSouth Africa uphezulu ngalendlela eqhakayo kodwa mengabe futhi uzobheka kunamazwe athenga upetrol khona la ngaphansi eSouth Africa but wona iprice yawo ilitha lawo liless kodwa bebethenga kuthini. So leyo nto raise ama question amaningi ngingathi sinenkinga currently ekumele si resolve before we move on.
As I said earlier, we have a lot of problems that we aren't dealing with. For instance, the price of fuel, the price of petrol in our country is very high. There's a lot of countries, our neighboring countries, who buy petrol from us, that we supply fuel to. Their liter is far lesser than ours. So those things are not being addressed. We should be fixing that first.
Okuye lana iloko ukuthi uke wawuthinta omunye okhulume ngaphambi kwami le yeski development because akuzos assist ekuthenini si invite mhlambe kuveza mhlambe abangaphandle beza la ngaphakathi bezokhiqizo kwaye bezothatha mhlambe umkhiqizo wesle South Africa why thina singenaso iskin noma bengashina lutho ekugcineni asisolve problem but ya escalate problem esinawo as a country.
I don't want to overemphasize the issue of skills development. It has been said numerous times. It won't help us to attract new investments and also have to import skills from other countries when our people remain undeveloped.
Ngale udla isikhathi mhlambe mphathi ohlelo ngusiphiwe nje wakabuthelezi bengizoyichitha mina ilokhuzana ngombono wami bengizoyichitha mina ibill until size sibheke zonke leli luhlelo sengisengalibala ngaphambili.
Without a waste of time, I as Piwe Butelezi, I would reject this bill up until we attend to these matters that I've highlighted.
Ngibonge sihlalo ngethuba.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity.
Udimba Nkosi lo ngiqhamuka Ward 15 khona la eduzane.
I am Dimba Nkosi from Ward 15 right here.
Usihlalo lo bebambile uthe usinikeza 3 minutes. Ngicabanga ukuthi ke that's a bit unfair ngcono umuntu anike